challenge neighborhood. Specifically, we're at Therein Books. I decided to kind of give this lot a makeover. I like a lot of the lots that come with this neighborhood, but there's things that just don't work for my style of gameplay. So I'm just kind of giving it a facelift. I decided to remove one of the bathrooms because it's such a small bookstore. It doesn't need 2 gendered bathrooms. That's just very silly. So I wanted to put in instead a little like office. I also was torn because I wanted there to be like a teen section as well, especially as you see all the stuff that I've laid out. I'm like, I have a lot of things that need to go in this tiny little lot. And not a lot of space to put them in. And I was trying to think, do I want to sacrifice the, book club area? Do I want to sacrifice the, author area / I also like the idea of it being, a podcast sort of area where maybe the owner of the bookstore also has, a podcast and talks about books and things. Or even, a SimTube channel. You can see I've kind of thrown some cars in for the parking lot. I was flailing a little bit at what I wanted to do first, before I went back to the method that I used in the museum, which was to put everything in the room that I wanted it to potentially go in and then work from there. Having it all out this way was overwhelming, for sure, because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I will say I'm absolutely recording this voiceover 12 minutes before this video is supposed to go up, because everything with my cat being himself, which I don't know if you've seen on Tumblr or Twitch or whatever, but essentially my little baby cat decided to get in a bit of trouble by eating thread and escaping the house and all sorts of stuff, so he had a linear obstruction and had to have surgery, and I've been really focused on that and just what's going to happen, making sure that I can afford it, which is skin my teeth, but we're doing it because I just couldn't imagine not trying, because it was also having to factor in the fact that the success rates are technically 63%, but with him it was higher because I was a crazy person and I kept bringing him into the bed and we finally found him. So it didn't have a chance to, with a linear obstruction, the worst part of it is the intestines kind of start to twist around and move. And so that didn't happen, which is great. I know, lovely thing to be talking about, but I'm really happy that he's okay, and I actually get to bring him home today in a couple hours, which is good because my little dog is so upset that he's gone. She's been looking for him everywhere, and it is the saddest thing that I've seen in my life. So she'll be happy he's here, even though she's not going to get to interact with him. You can see we kind of jumped forward. I went ahead and did the museum method of throwing everything where it's probably going to go. So this little nook in here is a kids area. Obviously, I don't have a specific sim in mind for owning this lot, but there's going to be a lot of kids in this neighborhood, and having an area where they can kind of go play, not necessarily filled with books, but there will be books. I like the idea that there's story time that happens here, in addition to just kind of a place for them to play while their parents' bookshop. Because Pleasant View, it's a small neighborhood, and you kind of get places like this, so people can congregate, but also the kids are still entertained. And I really like the pastel look of it, because I did just do one of these type rooms recently in the museum, but it was more nature themed and a lot more green and vibrant colors. This is more the frilly pastels. I really like that. It's not a picnic table, but it's shaped that way. It's benchy. I just think it's a good piece of furniture, and it looks a lot like furniture you see in kids' areas. So I wanted to use that little shelf for sure, but I also wanted to use that pastel pop one, which thankfully they kind of fit together, although I'm realizing now I don't think that I take out, there's a bookshelf in the pastel pop one, and I don't think that I noticed it. I think it's still there. I'll remove that. I honestly filmed this not an hour ago, because I've just been so worried about the cat and getting everything done that I'm behind. I do not have anything pre-recorded at this point, which is good in some ways, because I don't like to get too far ahead, but at the same time, not good, because now I'm like, I need to have a video posted today and tomorrow, and I don't have anything. That's okay. That's okay. I do kind of miss having, because these take me a while, so I miss like having the option of like a shorter video that I put out, because I used to do the different faces challenge. I also did Sim Sculpting Sundays, and those were like they took maybe 15 minutes to record. There wasn't a ton of thought, it was just more visually making somebody. So sim creation for me, I can do it very quickly. And having that option of making kind of shorter videos really did help me with pre-recording. So I have been thinking about doing the different faces challenge again, but possibly with more tutor characters, or, and this one's the one that I've been stuck on recently, is potentially Disney characters, and specifically princesses. Because over the years, and especially right now when live action is everything, we have a lot of portrayals of different princesses. A lot of Belle, a lot of Snow White, especially. Between the Once Upon a Time show, we also have some of the modern ones like Elsa, and I don't think Moana was in that show, I don't know. But like, we have quite a few portrayals that I think I could do it. But let me know what you think, if you would like to see my versions of everybody who's played Disney princesses, because I really want to do that. I want to introduce yet another special interest of mine. Because why not? I'm not happy with the mouse, but like, I acknowledge that there's things that I casually obsess over. So yeah, I'm just kind of placing lots of blocks and toys, because I wanted bookshelves. Like, I made sure that I had that in that area. I want bookshelves in every area, but they're kids. They're probably not going to want to read too much on their own. There's space for it, but they're also probably going to want to play. Yeah, I did want things on that table too, so I was glad I was able to find some blocks that would go on there. And then lots of stuffed animals. I figured none of these are like for sale, they're just more maybe donated by the community, things like that. Because it also gives a good way for like people to recycle. Like, say their kids have grown up and they've got a bunch of toys in their house, they can stop by and be like, hey, here you go, let's add to the playroom. Because again, small community, everybody's kind of together on it. I was also so afraid it was going to crash. My modern neighborhood doesn't crash as much, but sometimes it does, especially when I overload it with stuff. And right now it's overloaded because I have all of my options placed everywhere, but yeah. I wanted a little rug. I actually ended up using two. I'm not super thrilled with the way that they're next to each other, but I've tolerated it because it was necessary. And just because the floors are like this hard floor, essentially, like, you don't want little kids or toddlers in there because they're going to fall down and cry. I think it's cute though. I think it's sweet, and I think that it is exactly what I wanted. So that's good. Next up, I think I'm going to do the teen space because I'm really excited about it. I'm inspired a lot by what Barnes & Noble has been doing with their like teen and like anime and stuff like that. They've been adding a lot of that to their stores, and so I was inspired by having a bit of a merch section. So yeah, this is basically it. I'm curious to know what you think of it, if you think that this space belongs technically in a bookstore or not. I think it does, but you know, to each his own. I'm also curious about like small town bookstores in your area and what they look like. I'm always curious to know what everything looks like, because that's how I am. But anyways, if you like this video, definitely give it a like, and I will see you in the next one.